Hello everybody, it's me, Bearcat, again, after a couple of months of being gone. I didn't mean to be gone for so long, but I was kind of, busy with stuff, so, yeah. But, luckily enough, earlier today, actually, the new update for the Legends Mod Superhero Pack, came out, so I'll now be covering that. Well, it's only a couple new additions, so it'll be a pretty quick video. But yeah, let's get right on into it. The two new characters that were added were symbiote Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. Since in the table of contents right here, the Green Goblin's first, let's do that first. And here you have his recipe. Now, to make this, you're gonna need 16 green fabric, 12 purple fabric, 6 green stained leather, 4 purple stained leather, 1 pumpkin, 4 glider tech, and 1 goblin serum. To make some of these things, you're gonna need, like say, the glider tech. To create that, you're going to need, There are a couple of other things, like, a pumpkin should be pretty easy to get. You do have the other types of leather, which in previous videos I've already gone over how to make, so it's just, you just dye leather. You have all the fabrics, which I've also gone over in other videos. It's just the same fabric recipe from 1.7. And to make the goblin serum, you're actually going to need 4 emeralds, 2 pumpkins, a bottle of liquid Ethereum, a gas tier, and a radioactive syringe. After you get all of that stuff, you can click a mantle, and now we are the Green Goblin! Wow, he has the same Joker gross face. Also, he has toes. That's very uncomfortable in a Minecraft character. You can see it is Comic Book Goblin. He's quite fast. He's got a double jump. He's very, very agile. In fact, he has a little front sort of thing. He's got a slide ability. He can do that when you're at, I guess, top speed. And then we also have his first ability. And his first ability is actually a whole bunch of gadgets. Like, for one, we have his pumpkin bomb, which, pressing R will bring up the menu, and pressing R again will, of course, fire it out. His good old classic pumpkin bomb. And then, oops. And then using my switch mode ability, I will then go to a psychedelic bomb, which I presume will have different effects on someone who gets thrown at, Oh, I see. Yeah, see, it has long-lasting damage. I guess for a few seconds. Ooh. And then after that, we have a toy frog. Oh, okay, yeah, that electrocutes and then explodes. Ghost bomb. See, he has a lot of explosives. That does a big area attack. It's got a pretty cool effect with all the smoke and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Then you have the razor bats homing and the regular razor bats. And, there you go. They do a bleeding effect. And yeah, I guess like hard to fire them out in that direction. See, they went back around and hit a villager. So yeah, and then you have his regular razor bats, which almost look like batarangs. I guess they work the same as batarangs too. He just kind of throws them out. I think if I throw some more down, yeah, they disappear right after, but you can see. Yeah, they do cause a bleeding effect. So yeah, that's interesting. And then you have knockout gas, which and then his ability 2 is shock gloves, which yeah, it's just a little bit of electricity. Because see, that's something that's actually from the comics. There wasn't a single movie where Green Goblin was in it where they actually showed him doing that, but he does have weird little zappy fingers. And you have ability number 3, which is Goblin Slam. Yeah, look at that. He just starts mauling you. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Before I show you the fourth ability, I will show you the alternate versions of his first two. The alternate form of ability 2 is glider turrets, and the alt version of ability 3 is gobweb cannon. Now, to use these, I'm pretty sure we're gonna need the glider. The glider then flies in, and now we are gliding. As you can see, it's pretty much the same thing as his regular flight. This design is also based on the comics. Oh, it's gone now? That's something? Huh. That's weird. If you just press shift, it'll just disappear. That should probably be changed. How do you even go down? Oh, you use control to go down, or to go fast. Okay, so you can press control to do the boost, which is kind of fun, I guess. But you can't actually go down unless you're, like, aiming down, or doing the boost to aim down, because the controls are slightly different. That's a bit jank. I would have preferred if you could just press shift to go down and just toggle it off again if you don't want to be on the glider. His alternate abilities. So you have glider turrets, which are just some... There you go, just some bullets. I see a little crosshair appears when they kill him. And then his ability 3 is the gobweb cannon, or the gobweb cannon. That didn't do that right. There we go. Oh, he's got snot all over him. That's gross. This is making me realize I'm much less familiar with the comic book Green Goblin than I thought I was. I don't remember him ever using that. He probably used it at some point. I just haven't read enough comics, I guess. Ability 4 is actually going to be the Spiral Skewer. Which just, yeah, there, that was kind of cool. It's just a big turnaround thing. And then, boom, launches you real far, too. And then the alternate version of that ability is Rocket Blast. Which, holy crap. Okay, yeah, that just launches you really far. So far, it slightly lagged my game. And then, yeah. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. You could probably use it to get away if you're losing a fight. So yeah, and then you have ability number 5, which is homing missiles. There you go. G, okay. Then you have homing missiles. Just blow up that shit, and it's real loud. Yeah, it's kind of just in the name. It fires missiles, and yeah. Alternate version. Oh, the alternate version of this ability is Glider Assist, which must not be on glider. Okay, so I need to get rid of the glider, and then use this. Oh, which means then the glider's just here, and it follows you around. Oh, I see. It's almost like a dog, so where you can just, like, punch stuff, and then it'll start killing stuff for you. I wonder, can I? No. That would be cool if you could remotely use the glider abilities when you're not on it. Yeah, it only lasts a few seconds, but yeah, there you go. Now for his ultimate. He just starts throwing a bunch of stuff, and you see the pumpkin bombs, actually. Oh, whoa, what the? What are those? What the heck were those? They were tiny little mini gliders. What the heck? Yeah, I guess they kind of do. His armor ability, as you know, can take off his helmet, and you see Norman Osborn. And then, as you know, we have his soundboard, which, due to me not wanting a copyright strike, I will not be playing any of these. Yeah, you have many of his different things, as well as his theme. I don't even remember what his theme was. Now, our second character is going to be Black Suit Spider-Man. Or Symbiote Spider-Man. And as you can see, his stats are all right here. You can see all of his resistances and other abilities. and his weaknesses, which is of course fire and sound, because he's got a symbiote on him. And as you can see, there is actually nothing there. There's no actual way to craft them. Now, unlike with previous versions of the original Spider-Man, this isn't because he's incomplete. You see, he actually is completed. Hi, yeah, editing me here. I was editing the video, and I noticed during the Symbiote Spider-Man segment, the way I explained it was really bad, so I'm just gonna quickly re-record that whole section right here. With Symbiote Spider-Man, he doesn't actually have a recipe. So like if you go over to I think it's at the bottom. Yeah, it's at the bottom here. If you actually go to the thing right here, it does not show the actual recipe, and that's specifically because you need Spider-Man's recipe. And Spider-Man actually does have a recipe now, which is different from the previous version. And you can see it's 3 black fabric, 9 blue fabric, 17 red fabric, 4 red stained leather, 1 web shooter, 1 web woven Etherean, and 2 white fabric. Web woven Etherean. You're gonna need a piece of Etherean like always with radioactive string, and to make the web shooters, you're gonna need actually 2 web cartridges, 4 iron ingots, a sticky piston, redstone dust, and 1 steel ingot. Something I didn't really mention about the Green Goblin's whole thing. With the Goblin Serum, which is a thing you're going to need, it has a radioactive syringe. And you're actually going to need that for the... to get radioactive string. You're going to need a syringe for that. Also, the web cartridges, 6 iron, 2 string, and 1 slime ball to make a web cartridge. With the web shooters, another thing I forgot to mention, steel, which I'm sure if they do add a way to get the glider components and stuff, they're probably going to be mad at this. You just smelt iron into steel. So yeah. And then you get a radioactive syringe through actually getting a regular syringe. I'm just gonna go through this whole process and getting a creeper. And then you get the creeper, and then you stick it, and it does bleeding damage to it, and then you get a radioactive syringe. And then with that radioactive syringe, you're actually gonna need to stick it into a spider. So you basically have to like recreate the experiment that gave Peter his powers, but it doesn't exactly work 100% of the time. So yeah, the spider's just gonna die, and then so if I just spawn like a bunch here and create a bunch of copies of the radioactive syringe, as you can see, it's not really gonna work most of the time. This is on purpose, so it's very rare to actually get it to work properly. But once you do get it, it will just turn into a radioactive spider. And then these guys, that's what these look like. And then these guys have a small chance of dropping the radioactive string. So yeah. So to get Goblin or Spider-Man, you're gonna need to stick a syringe in a creeper. And the actual way you make a syringe is actually through it's once again steel and glass pane. So yeah, you're gonna need steel for a couple of things, and yeah. Anyways, yeah, but now back to the original recording. After you get all of that, you can now finally make Spider-Man. And I'm actually gonna mantle this real quick, because not because anything has really changed. I guess a couple of things have changed with him a little bit. Like Yeah, see, after I mantled Spider-Man, there is actually something interesting that's been added to him. Like, you know, he had his wall crawling, and then, see, boom, see that? He can now walk across different surfaces, up and down, you see? So that he can go underneath and then do that. That's pretty cool. And the reason why I mantled Spider-Man is to actually get symbiote Spider-Man. You see, now that I've explained how to get Spider-Man, he's regular Spider-Man, see, to get symbiote Spider-Man, you're gonna need, well, a symbiote. I could just spawn one right here. See, this is what they look like. They are hostile to you normally when you're in survival. They do have quite a lot of health. Yeah, when they die though, I'm trying to see. They actually, you see, when they die, they have the chance to drop cosmic chunks. They're not dropping them for me because I'm just really unlucky, I guess. The way that you get symbiotes is that you have to do /event start meteor. There we go. So as you can see right here, it just summons, and then it will crash land, and several symbiotes will spawn. Maybe these ones drop the cosmic chunks. No, they still don't. But, yeah, you see, once you have a symbiote, you can actually get a, you actually get an empty vial. And, these are crafted, for fuck's sake, these are crafted with 2 glass panes. And you just go on right there, and, yeah, you just grab it, and now you have a symbiote. This is also pretty similar, pretty much the exact same, how they did it back in 1.7. And, presumably, if I just use this... Yep, there you go. I just right-click, and boom. Now I'm Symbiote Spider-Man, and now my neckline is a bit thicker. You see that? My neckline's thicker. Well, very, very odd. But yeah. Ability 1, Web Swing. It's pretty much the same. Pretty much entirely the same, actually. And you have ability number 2, which is the Symbiote Constructs, which... Here we go. You have Tentacle Shot, which is just, that's not the right thing, which is just, boom, and glob all over him. That's nasty, that's disgusting, look at that. Symbiote Punch, which, it does the sound effect. Symbiote Grab, which... pulls your enemies in so you can kill them. And then you've got Tendril Strike, which, boom, does a big forward thing with a bunch of tendrils. So yeah, Tentacle Arms. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh yeah, it's one of the ones being activated, and then you click, and then there's a big tendril that went through the ground, so you couldn't see it that well, but oh, there you go. And then you have the Symbiote Darts, which are other gross little globules. And then you have Symbiote Snare, which just killed that guy on impact. Holy sh... And that's Tendril Spikes. And it uses the same roar as the 1.7 version. And then the alternate version of Ability 3, Symbiote Bomb, which is a big bomb. Oh wow, that's pretty big. Pretty big crater. And it also ensnares all of them in goo. So yeah, that's pretty neat. And then Ability 4 is Symbiote Strike, which does that big forward thing, which I know is from Spider-Man 2. I remember it. Then you have symbiote Yang, which lifts them all up, pulls them back down. I remember that from Spider-Man 2. And then ability number 5 is symbiote Blast, which, yeah, another one from the game. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And then you have symbiote Tempest. Why do I keep opening my inventory? Oh my god. Oh yeah, you have Tempest. That looks sick. And then you have the ultimate, Area of Entanglement. Now I recognize that name because in the old Legends of Evolve server, wait, it wasn't on the server. It was on a different server, but it had Legends mod on it. I had the symbiote. That was my symbiote ultimate ability and my symbiote legacy. So I remember this, so I can only assume. Ah, that's sick. As you can see, it's a big Area of Entanglement and a much nicer looking animation and texturing, based from the original 1.7 one. And then the class ability is Symbiote Dash. I forgot how to use the class ability. There is this utility though, which is Spider Sense, Symbiote's Rage, and Camouflage. I'm gonna use Camouflage. That just lets you turn invisible straight up. Oops. And then, yeah. So that's pretty cool, and I think when you use an ability, it turns off. And then his class ability, which I completely forgot what it was. What that class ability is left alt, right? Left alt, and it does a little dash ability. I still would really appreciate it if y'all put actual, like the actual keybinds next to the abilities, because once again, I'm ADHD. I can't remember. If it looks like I do, I don't. Every single ability, I have paused the game and looked at the keybind because I can't remember it. I'm just like in every previous video I've done for this version of Legends, I've done the exact same thing. I've just edited it out. I'm stuck inside of the billboard. I've just edited it out. His and then his armor key is the Ink Fade. Ooh, look at that! And now we're edgy man Peter Parker. Edgy man Peter Parker. And then lastly, we have the soundboard, which, you know, has voice lines from the game and probably other places. Once again, I haven't checked out any of the soundboards because copyright. I'm not gonna deal with it. I guess that is just gonna be about it for this video. If there's anything I forgot to cover, then I guess you could probably watch Revenant Heroes video. I would assume it's more in-depth. I only skimmed through bits and pieces of it to figure out the whole radioactive syringe thing. So yeah, I guess if you like the video, you know, you can recommend me some other mods to cover. You can, you know, you can, yeah. I'm kind of out of it. I'm tired. So yeah, that's good. That's gonna be pretty much it for this video. So yeah, goodbye.